Like when you're living in the UK and you haven't got papers, and you know, maybe all your friends are going to uni or starting work, you feel isolated, you feel like you don't belong, you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm so outcasted. Hey lovely people, it's your girl Fran. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back again with another video for you. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be talking about how I finally got my papers. Now, if you watch my video where I'm talking about living in the UK for 10 years without papers, then you can see that I mentioned that I finally got my papers at the end of my second year, like beginning of third year at uni. So I kind of wanted to talk about how I finally got my papers and I was even able to get a full scholarship going to uni. So let's get right into this video so I can tell you more about this, and hopefully this video can help you if you're going through the same situation or something similar. So I'm going to start first with how I managed to get a full scholarship to go uni. Now in that video I talked about basically when I couldn't go to uni because of student loans, I went on to do a hairdressing course. Now one day I was eating lunch whilst doing that course, and I saw a leaflet on the table, and the leaflet said that, oh, that this organization can help if you're going through the situation or going through that situation. So I was like, okay, let me take this leaflet. But on there it said that you had to like live within that borough to get help. But I wasn't living in that borough. I was studying there, but I wasn't living there. So I took the leaflet, but I didn't give them a call. And then 2 weeks went past and something was just like, just give them a call. So I eventually gave them a call, and this was an organization called the Children's Society. And I gave them a call and they assigned me with a caseworker. I went to speak with them, and honestly that was the beginning of my journey. I met the most amazing woman ever, honestly, like and you know, it gives me so much joy knowing that this is the work I do. Although I'm not a caseworker, but I work with people who are caseworkers and I work with young people. But when someone works in something that they're so passionate about, something that they know the value of what they're giving, that service they're giving to someone else, sometimes they don't even know, but it means so much. Honestly, I always say, like, if you are trying to maybe contact an organization or something and you get the wrong caller on the line or something, it can be the difference between you getting what you want to get and you not getting what you want to get. So I just so happened to get this amazing woman, and at the time I didn't have things like a good coat, toiletries and whatnot, and so she contacted another charity that made donations to people, and they also had a food bank. So she wanted me to go to the food bank to see if I could get some food. She sent an email to the person who was kind of like the contact between the charity and their charity, and the person was just so amazed. I can say amazed. The person was just really amazed by hearing about my story, and they then sent an email to everyone that sponsored that organization, and I got a ton load of stuff. I literally cried. I had to go to the women's house to pick up like 2 suitcases of clothes, of toiletries, knickers, and people who couldn't donate things gave money. Like I had over £500 that was given to me. These people did not know me from Adam or Eve, and they were willing to do, like, just give to me. I was in tears. I was crying in this woman's house, and even she started crying. So the foundation that sponsored me to go to uni, the sister of the brother who started it, was actually one of the people on that email list. And you know, a couple of years later she even said to me that she doesn't even usually open emails like that, but she didn't know why she opened that one, and that email was about me. So she then spoke to the person who was the president at the time, who's now my surrogate mom. Such an amazing woman, honestly. If I tell you half of what these people have done or have been, I can't even begin, honestly. But so they spoke, and obviously to the guy who owns the scholarship, who's Martin Marshall, amazing man, doing such an amazing job for so many people, so many young people, you know, being able to go to university. So, and yeah, so they contacted me and they wanted a personal statement. I sent that, and then they were like, they would like to meet me. and they met me. I can remember this like it was yesterday. It was the Starbucks in Golders Green, and they had this document that said, we will sponsor you and we will pay like at least 23 grand a year, covering your tuition fee, your living expenses, and giving you like a monthly allowance. And I was in tears when I was crying. I was bawling my eyes out because I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. And that's how I became the first Marshall Scholar in the UK, the first UK Marshall Scholar. That's how I became that. And it paved the way to for them to sponsor other, students in the UK. When I got the scholarship, I wrote a report to basically talk about how many young people were in the UK in my similar situation who needed their help, and they managed to sponsor 3 or 4 other students, but because of the cost of the scholarship, they couldn't sponsor so many students in the UK. But the scholarship is based in South Africa and Israel, where they sponsor about 250 students in each country, and it honestly is such an amazing thing that they do. But not only just sponsorship, you build a relationship. They became my family. Like, they are still my family. They have helped me financially in many ways I can never repay them back, but they have been that source of belonging. Like, when you're living in the UK and you haven't got papers, and maybe all your friends are going to uni or starting work, you feel isolated, you feel like you don't belong, you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm so outcasted. And they became my family. The Children's Society, Marshall Scholarship, they all became my family, like, and my adopted family, of course. Like, I suddenly had this huge support system that I always wanted my whole life. And honestly, the relationships, that's why I always say that, despite all the things that I've been through in my life, I would never change any of it, because the amazing people that I have come to meet, I would have never met them if I'd gone a different path. Honestly, being the first UK Marshall Scholar was, I can't tell you guys, like, just how amazing that is. Like, I went to uni and these people paid thousands. Like, the first year of uni, my fees were like 11 grand. It was like 11 grand. Like, just amazing people, and I've come to build such an amazing relationship with them. And I went back, redid my A-levels again in that year after finishing my hairdressing course, and then another uni offered to accept me on an international basis, actually 2 uni, and I ended up going to Oxford Brookes in Oxford. And the story in that other video where I talk about what actually happened when I went to enroll, because I didn't have my papers. I just had this paper from the Home Office that said we are reconsidering your reconsideration request, but we can't say anything to you. And actually went with my surrogate mom when I went to enroll. She was there for support, and just amazing. And I was enrolled, and that was me going to uni. So now, going back to the papers bit. So I had that solicitor that had taken my case on a pro bono basis, and we just wasn't sure what to do now. Obviously, I'd started uni, and it was like, should we wait to hear from the reconsideration request? Should we make a new application for a student visa? But then I'd lived in the UK for how many years? Like, what route? We didn't know. And then all of a sudden, at the end of my second year, I received a letter from the Home Office that said that they had reconsidered the request, and they were sticking by the decision to not grant me leave to remain, and that I had a right to appeal, and that I also had to start signing on. Yes, I had to start signing on, and I started signing on. If you know what signing on is, basically you report to a Home Office facility, and I had to do it once every single month. At first they made me sign on at London Bridge, and then but I was traveling from Oxford all the way to London because I was at uni. So then I told them, and then they sent me to Croydon, which didn't make any sense because that's even further than London Bridge. And then I complained again, and then they sent me to Hounslow, which is a little bit closer. I just used to get a coach and then get trained. So yeah, I had to be signing on, and then we used the opportunity of the appeal to then apply for the appeal towards the case, and they gave us a date for December. I think it was December 23rd, which was like 2 days before Christmas of that 2014. But my surrogate mom and some other people from my scholarship sponsors, another charity that I was doing a work experience for, they wanted to be there, but they couldn't because they already had plans for December. So we asked if we could have the case adjourned. They adjourned it to the July of the following year, July 2015. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a long time. But you know, it was good because it gave us enough time to prepare me. And I remember they had to get a barrister involved, because usually when you're going to court, your solicitor is not who is there to represent you, a barrister is. So, and that meant that they had, like, my sponsors had to spend a lot of money, because although my lawyer started off on a pro bono basis, but because we were going to court, they had to get barrister and other people involved gathering all the evidence and everything. So they spent thousands, like a lot of money. Honestly, I'm just so grateful for these people, because you know, like, it could have happened to someone else, but it happened to me, and I'm so grateful for all that they did and all that they've done in my life. So that was it. And then we went to court. And outside of the courtroom, before we went in, the home office representative literally said that if it was up to him, he would grant me my stay there. Like, we wouldn't even need to go in the courtroom. After looking through all the documents and everything about me, he was like, he would do it. But obviously that wasn't up to him. We went into court. He didn't ask me any questions. It was only the judge. I had a female judge, and actually we had to go into Birmingham. The court was all the way in Birmingham. And yeah, the judge asked me, would I still continue doing like my charitable stuff, even like no matter what the outcome was? And I said, yes, of course. Like I knew, like, even before then, like, I knew the work I do now is what I was made to do. So yeah. And then I think maybe a month after, I remember, like, even after court, like, I wasn't worried. I was like, I had this assurance inside of me that I'm gonna get it, like, I'm gonna get my stay. And I think a month after, I got a letter from the Home Office that said I'd won the case, and I've been granted my stay, and I had to go do my biometrics. At the time, biometrics was done at the post office. Now the Home Office has a service centre, like, all over the UK, I believe, or maybe not all over the UK, but they do have service centres everywhere that you can do your biometrics at. But at the time, it was the post office. Went to do it at the post office, and within a couple of weeks, I got my biometric resident permit. And they didn't even send it to me because I had a lawyer then. So my lawyer got it, and she sent me an email to say, you know, it had arrived. And I was ecstatic, like, finally I have my stay. Like, I have, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. But I'm so grateful, so thankful to God for my scholarship sponsors. Shout out to Marshall Scholarship, who are doing an amazing job helping so many young people go to universities, transforming their lives, their communities, their families. Honestly, like, my whole life has been transformed. The relationships have built, you know, through them, and you know, the networks I've been able to establish, like, just where my life is right now. Like, being able to meet my surrogate mom, she's my daughter's nana. She's such an amazing being, amazing woman. Like, I'm so grateful for all the amazing people that I've met in my life. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful to God for where I am right now. So yeah, guys, that is literally my story on how I finally got my stay, and how I went to uni without my papers on a scholarship. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so that this video can reach a lot more people out there who might need this information. And let me know if there's any more videos along these lines or anything else in particular that you want to hear me talk about. I do have tons of content planned, and I can't wait to get that to you. Take care, guys, and I'll see you again soon.